The Kethrin hunting party had surrounded them within minutes. Jasper kept his hands visible, palms open, as 7 towering warriors emerged from the crimson forest. Each stood nearly 3 meters tall, their obsidian fur bristling with aggression. Elongated snouts curled back to reveal teeth designed for rending flesh. The spears they carried hummed with plasma energy, pointed directly at him and Lara. "Don't move," Jasper whispered, though Lara had already frozen beside him. They had been cataloging plant samples on Kethros 4 for barely 6 hours. The expedition briefing had mentioned the indigenous population was territorial, but not hostile. Looking at those spears, Jasper wondered who had written that particular lie. The largest Kethrin, clearly the pack's alpha, snarled something in their guttural language. The translator implant in Jasper's ear rendered it as, "You trespass. The punishment is death." "We meant no offense," Jasper said carefully, knowing the implant would translate his words. "We're scientists. We're just studying." A high-pitched whimper cut through his explanation. Lara's head snapped toward the sound. 20 meters away, partially hidden by the massive roots of a sentinel tree, something small moved. Another whimper, weaker this time. "Jasper," Lara breathed, her brown eyes widening. "That's a child." The alpha's ears flattened against his skull. He barked an order, and 2 warriors moved to block their view of the sound. But it was too late. They had both seen it. A small Kethrin cub, no larger than a human 5-year-old, lying in the undergrowth. Even from this distance, Jasper could see the dark stain spreading across the crimson moss beneath it. "They're protecting it," Lara whispered. "Something attacked them." As if to confirm her words, a roar shattered the forest silence. The Kethrin warriors immediately shifted formation, creating a defensive perimeter. Through the trees, Jasper glimpsed something massive moving, scales glinting like polished steel, easily twice the size of the largest Kethrin, a razorback drake. The apex predator of Kithros the Farfir, the Alpha, shouted commands. 4 warriors moved to intercept the drake while 3 remained. Spears still trained on the humans, but their attention divided. The creature burst through the tree line, all claws and armor plating and murderous intent. Jasper watched the Kethrin warriors engage the beast with practiced efficiency. They were magnificent fighters working in perfect coordination. But the drake was winning. 1 warrior went down, then another. The Alpha roared in fury and pain as the drake's tail caught him across the chest, sending him crashing into a tree trunk. And through it all, the cub continued to whimper. Lara moved before Jasper could stop her. She sprinted toward the cub, ignoring the remaining guard's startled snarl, ignoring Jasper's shout of her name. She dropped to her knees beside the small form, her hands immediately assessing the wound. The guard leveled his spear at her head, trembling with the desire to strike but clearly uncertain about attacking someone helping his packmate. Jasper ran to her side, positioning himself between Lara and the guard. "My companion is a medic," he said urgently. "Let her help." The cub's breathing was shallow, labored. A deep gash ran along its side, likely from the drake's initial attack. Its eyes, large and golden and terrified, fixed on Lara's face. "Hey, little one," Lara murmured, her voice dropping into that soft, soothing tone she used with all injured creatures. Her hands moved with practiced confidence, pulling medical gel from her field kit. "I've got you. You're going to be okay." Behind them, the battle raged. Jasper heard the Alpha roar again, heard plasma spears discharging, heard the drake's answering scream. But Lara didn't look up. She worked with absolute focus, sealing the wound, administering pain medication from her universal medical supply. The cub's whimpering quieted. Its breathing steadied. Lara gently stroked its head, her fingers careful around the small horns just beginning to grow. Then, moving with infinite tenderness, she leaned down and pressed a kiss to the cub's forehead, right between those nascent horns, in the way human mothers had comforted their young for millennia. The cub's eyes drifted closed, its small chest rising and falling in the rhythm of healing sleep. When Lara finally looked up, the forest had gone silent. The drake lay dead, multiple spears protruding from its armored hide. The Kethrin warriors stood motionless, staring, and the Alpha, bleeding from a dozen wounds, had fallen to his knees. Slowly, deliberately, the massive warrior lowered his spear until its point touched the ground. One by one, the other warriors did the same. The gesture was unmistakable, a sign of respect, of surrender, of something deeper than words could convey. The Alpha spoke, his voice rough with emotion. The translator rendered it simply, "You saved our youngest. You asked nothing. You risked everything." Lara stood, still cradling the sleeping cub in her arms. "It was hurt," she said, as if that explained everything. And perhaps Jasper thought it did. The Alpha approached slowly, each step measured. He reached out one clawed hand and gently touched the cub's head, checking the sealed wound with something like wonder. Then he looked at Lara, and Jasper saw his eyes widen as he truly saw her for the first time, saw her small frame, her soft skin without armor, her lack of natural weapons. "You are prey," the Alpha said, confused. "Prey does not fight. Prey does not heal. Prey runs." Lara smiled, that fierce, bright smile that Jasper had seen her use in 1,000 moments of defiance. "We're human," she said. "We don't run when someone needs help." The Alpha was silent for a long moment. Then he straightened, and when he spoke again, his words carried the weight of ritual. "The Kethrin pack honors its debts. You have saved our blood. Our spears are yours, our hunts are yours, our lives are yours until the debt is paid." He turned to his warriors and spoke in their own language, too rapid for the translator to keep pace. But Jasper understood the meaning when every warrior struck their spear against the ground 3 times in perfect unison. A salute, a promise, an oath. Later, as they made camp under Kethrin protection, Jasper watched Lara carefully return the sleeping cub to its mother's arms. The female warrior clutched her child and pressed her forehead to Lara's in a gesture of profound gratitude. "You know we're going to have to explain this to the Expedition Command," Jasper said quietly. Lara shrugged, still watching the reunited family. "We'll tell them the truth. Sometimes the best first contact protocol is just being human, seeing someone who needs help and choosing to help them." The Alpha overheard and approached, his wounds now bandaged with the medical supplies Lara had shared. "Human," he said, testing the word. "We will remember this. All Kethrin will remember. The soft ones who do not run. The healers who kiss the wounded. The prey that has the heart of an Alpha." As the twin moons rose over Kethros 4, Jasper realized they hadn't just made first contact. They had made allies, friends, family, all because Lara had done what humans had always done best, seen someone suffering and refused to look away. In the firelight, surrounded by warriors who would have killed them hours before, Jasper finally understood what HFY really meant. Not humanity's weapons or technology or conquest, but humanity's stubborn, foolish, beautiful refusal to let the vulnerable suffer alone, even when the Alphas held the spears.